Once upon a time, behind the great hills, amidst the flowing streams, there was a vast farm. In this farm, all kinds of animals could be found, and these animals got along very well with each other. The farm owner rarely visited because these animals not only understood each other well, but also managed all their needs on their own. One day, the influential pig Desto announced that he would host a party on the farm. Soon, this news spread throughout the entire farm, but there was one who hadn't heard the fluffy, white-fur cat Kaiser, who always withdrew to a corner to nap. Fortunately, Cinco, the big mustached mouse, came to play with him and shared the news. Now everyone knows about the party, but the only question on everyone's mind is on which day the party will take place. Everyone eagerly awaits the news from Mr. Desto to find out. Mr. Desto climbed a high step on the farm, cleared his throat, and began, "Dear farm residents, as I previously announced, we'll be hosting a party soon. After discussions with my dear friends, we have decided on the day for the party." Excitement filled the air as everyone anxiously awaited Mr. Desto's announcement of the chosen day. Disturbed by the uproar among the animals, Mr. Desto stood up and declared, "It will be 2 nights from now, after everyone has finished their work, in the large barn." In the morning, everyone was awake and bustling around the barn where the party would take place. Some had balloons, some had drinks, and others had decorations in their hands. Mrs. Course, in charge of the party, was making sure everything was as perfect as possible, and fortunately, the barn was now ready for the party, and everyone eagerly anticipated the night of the celebration. The farm animals, finding it difficult to sleep due to the excitement of the upcoming party, eventually drifted off into slumber as Mrs. Course turned off the lights for the night. With the first light of morning, the farm residents couldn't believe their eyes. The farm owner, in his red tractor, had already approached the farm. Mrs. Course hurriedly ran to inform Mr. Desto, reaching him breathless. Whatever she said seemed incomprehensible, but it had already angered Mr. Desto. "Sir," Mrs. Course began as the farm owner arrived, "he's coming. What should we do? If he sees the barn like this, he'll kick us all off the farm. Please tell us what to do." "Sir," Mr. Desto rose calmly and said, "All right, you go outside and calm the animals. I'll handle the rest." Mrs. Course led the animals towards the barn prepared for the party, instructing them to remain silent. Meanwhile, Mr. Desto observed the farm owner through binoculars from the window. An idea struck him, and he rushed to the phone on the table. He picked it up and called his friend, Mole Carl. "Hey, buddy, I need your help." He began the conversation, and his friend responded, "Of course. Sir, what do you need? Could you please puncture the tire of that red tractor heading towards your house?" Mr. Desto asked. "Certainly, I'll take care of it with pleasure," replied his friend, Carl. "See you then. By the way, I'm inviting you to our farm party tonight," added Desto before ending the call. Mole Carl, hearing the approaching tractor, sharpened his teeth and got ready to work. He waited in ambush, and as the tractor got very close, he swiftly punctured the front tire with his teeth. Carl's job was done. The farm owner, perplexed by the sudden flat tire, realized he had no spare. After learning his son didn't have a spare at home either, he hitched a ride with a passing car and headed home. Meanwhile, the farm animals, observing from the window, noticed that the night had fallen, and among themselves, they were saying, "It seems like there won't be a party today." The sky was dark, and there was no news from either the farm owner or Mr. Desto. The farm animals thought, either the pre-planned party will happen today, or the farm owner will come and ruin everything. Suddenly, the barn doors swung wide open, and Mr. Desto entered with a dazzling light. "Well, what are you waiting for? Aren't you ready for the party?" he said, and everyone happily stood up to start enjoying the celebration. That night turned out to be unforgettable for all the animals.